like meat.
Nice.
Tonight's meatballs, by the way.
Top of the morning, evening, afternoon, and good night to one and all. It is Monday after party 31 on our panel. We have Jorn, Maddie, Brie Bones.
Hi.
Okay. So today we have some fun topics, but before we get into each individual topic, there is something that I want to cover, just like usual. I've been drinking coffee, a little wired up, a little jacked up on caffeine and cocaine. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you so much for that. So, yeah, we'll wait for some more people. Are we going to wait for some more people or just going to go for it?
Your call.
We just going for it? Jordan, did you get your monitor?
No. Same as my coffee maker. Still en route. This is Belgium.
You look a little jittery. You good?
I think I'm having some kinds of withdrawals. I'm fine. I'm doing okay.
You seem a little twitchy.
I'm itchy.
You're itchy.
The things I would do for a cup of coffee, you have no idea.
Why don't you just get energy drinks?
It's not. I don't think it's working.
Okay, Jordan. You are a wonderful person. Those are probably the worst energy drinks that I've ever had. The flavor is just
you said one. You liked one. You said
one. Yeah, one was okay. Yeah, you need something better than that. Do your stores offer anything else?
Monster and whatever.
Oh, that's horrible. Monster. Oh.
But there is more caffeine in Monster.
True. It's not delicious.
The Lalu, that's for kids.
Yeah, that's why I can buy it.
Okay.
Without showing my ID.
Before we get into it, thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Monkey. Thank you, Combat. Okay. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to jump right into the first fucking topic. And yeah, I'm a little, I don't know if I'm sweated or heated over the actual content itself. Or now I like to consider myself pretty unbiased. I like to look at all sides of the house. Why are you vaping so much, Jordan? You're making me nervous. So, I look at all things aside of the house. If I see this, I'm going to look at the opposing side. Now, what I'm about to show you, some of you may get irritated by. And I guess that's the purpose of this panel. So if you have not been paying attention in Discord, that is totally fine. I'm going to make you pay attention to this horse shit. So this is something that I got shown this morning. Now, I want to talk about this very heavily here. And some people may not want to talk about it, which is fine, so I will. On the left, what you have is a Catholic nun. On the right, what you have is a Muslim. Now, that could be a Shiite, that could be a Sunni, that could be a hybrid of both. It is Arabic of some sort, right? Muslim of some sort. Now, let's focus on this big thing in the middle. It's not your faith, it's your bigotry. Okay, so everybody sees this image here, yeah? We all see it. It's ingrained in our head. Let's talk about it for a moment. Considering I have spent an elaborate amount of time in the Middle East, I have never looked at a nun and thought of, she might blow herself up in the name of God. I have never thought of her and said, you know what? She's covered up because her husband told her to be covered up. And I'm talking about the Catholic nun. I have never, when I think of nuns, I think of do-gooders. I think of people that are married to Christ, that are the bride of Jesus, right? That's what I think of. Now, I'm not saying I agree with nuns. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't think of terrorism. I don't think of threat when I see that. My immediate reaction is not like, ooh, they're about ready to get us, right? It's not like, I'm not going to see a nun walk up to an outpost or an FOB in the Middle East and think, oh, she's probably got an IED underneath her garment, right? I don't see that. So I would not consider that bigotry. I would consider my experience tells me otherwise, that they are not the same. That is not bigotry. Now, I'm sure I will have more to say about this. Anybody else want to comment on this?
Yeah, does the bigotry work both ways then? Because you're not liking the Muslim and you're liking the nun. That also works the other way around, because those Muslims don't like nuns, so they're bigots as well. You can't use that in one fashion in this case, or one way. That doesn't work.
Yeah, so bigotry is a form of intolerance or prejudice, which can result in discrimination, harassment, or unreasonable beliefs. So that doesn't even really apply.
So them blowing up Catholics is also bigotry, no? Because they don't like him.
You notice how you never hear the word radical and nuns in the same sentence? Like ever?
So here's the thing with Shiites, right? So I don't know if you guys are familiar with. I'm sorry, Jordan. You probably want to say something, no?
Oh, the first thought that came to mind when I saw that picture is, one is choice and devotion, the other one is kind of forced upon you. You don't have a choice. If you're born in a certain area, you're gonna wear that, regardless how you feel or how dedicated you are to said belief.
Yeah, becoming a nun is a choice, and it's actually not an easy.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah. And both streams are out as well, I think. They're loading.
Yep. Jesus Christ. Are we back up?
Yes, sir. YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's back up. Let me refresh Twitch.
No, Twitch is not going back.
Nope.
No, it says an error occurred now. It has to be something with Apple's new API causing this issue for dual streaming.
But last time we did a dual stream and it didn't do this.
But it did do it on Sunday too, right?
No, Sunday we were fine. We did the whole stream.
Oh, maybe I was thinking of last Sunday.
The Sunday before it did, yeah.
Okay, whatever. We'll just do it over on YouTube. That's fine. So anyway, going back to what I was saying is when you see the two of those, right? I don't think I don't think of. Now I'm saying I'm getting an error.
Okay, I can see us on.
We are good.
YouTube, fine.
Yeah, we're well. All right, that's fine. We'll just be on YouTube. So, okay. So, in my experience, right, I am more likely going to the Middle East. I was more likely to see Sunnis, which also wear the hijab, right? Both of them do. So, I was more often to see that one than I would the Shiites bombing. But either way, I don't think of a nun, and I don't think of bombings. I don't think of destruction. I don't think of extreme measures being taken in the name of God. I think of people like Mother Teresa, right, would go around and honestly, I don't know what Mother Teresa would do, but it was a nun, right? Some type of helping of placing.
She headed up foundations, or her name was used to head up foundations.
Right. You don't think of her and think of her blowing away half the mafia.
Nope.
No.
So, and I don't think that's bigotry. That's just Is it bigotry if it's factual?
No, just like it's not racism for things that are considered normal in different cultures. Like statistically, there's certain factors about certain races that are true, but if you say them, it is false and bigotry. But it's statistics.
And also in religion, you're always gonna have that, in my opinion. Like Catholic, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever, Protestant, whatever you're gonna do, one is always gonna not like the other ones.
Of course.
Is that bigotry? No, that's just your belief. You believe this is to be true, and you don't believe those are true, so you don't like them. That's not bigotry. That's just your belief.
And then there's still a huge difference between me not liking your beliefs and me not liking your beliefs, so I have to cave your skull in. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, nuns are there to help people. Like, they help expectant mothers. They help wayward kids. Like, they're there to provide support. They don't even get any money. Like, they're just doing work for God.
I like what David just posted, too. Nuns don't hate Jews.
No, nuns love everybody, right? Because everyone is God's children.
Nuns don't fly planes in buildings either.
Yeah, look, I'm sure you. I honestly, I've been on this earth for a long time. I've seen a lot of different combat zones, and I can tell you, I've never seen a radical Catholic. I don't know. I've never seen it. I've never seen a Catholic nun. You could say the priests, touching children and shit. Okay, I'm not saying that's okay, but when I think of that specific picture, I don't think of one pushes the religion and tries to help people in certain fields. The other one does not push a religion. They push a religion, but they push it upon extreme measures. And again, that's not all of them. That's not all. But in this case, we're supposed to be looking at the two most extreme cases, right? That's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you're not just talking about some random nun versus some random Sunni. That's not what we're talking about. Because a nun is a prestigious. That's not a random Catholic woman. It'd be different if you were showing Carmela from Sopranos and Ajabaji from Kuwait. It'd be different. But you're not. You're showing a nun and you're showing someone.
Just a regular woman.
Yeah, one is a believer. The other one is I can't think of the word. One is a believer. The other one is what would you consider a nun? A preacher?
Practitioner of the faith?
Sure. Let's go with that. Right. Again, David, great point. Nuns don't burn flags. So I have no idea what we're talking about. It's not a matter of bigotry at this point. That's all. I just really wanted to speak.
To be clear, it's not, you can probably find one or two extremist Christians or nuns or whatever. We're not talking about that one. I mean,
could you though?
The norm.
But could you though? I looked. Could you show me a nun that in the name of God has taken people's lives?
I'm sure somebody somewhere can find something and use that one case. Oh, listen, but they do it as well. No, that's not the norm.
So, did anyone actually read the article that Naomi posted?
Nope.
The one of the nun with the thing? Yes.
Yep. So they actually didn't do anything. They give out money to underprivileged people in their community. And they said every single donation we make is tracked, audited, and accounted for. And it all stems from the dictator of that country hating Catholics. It has nothing to do with them. It has to do with him hating Catholic people. He said all they do is hate on us and that they are worthless in our society. He just hates Catholic people. It has nothing to do with the money that they did. He's just ostracizing them because he can, because he is a dictator.
How dare those extremist nuns give money to people who need it?
Right, that's what they said. They said all of our money's accounted for. You could look through our books. Like, we didn't do this. Like,
I would be interested to. I am genuine when I saw that image this morning. I was on a toilet bowl. I was looking for an extremist nun that took people's name in the name that took people's lives in the name of God. That's what I was looking for. I could not find one.
Yeah, but that's because the belief they stand for doesn't really preach that anyway.
Well, in all fairness,
I could be wrong, but I don't think it's
neither
mentioned in the Bible.
Neither does Islam. Right?
So,
Islam is typically peaceful people. It's the radicals. But find me a radical Catholic.
True.
There's a lot more
that's
radical
because there's because of the interpretation of the text, right? That's why you get the extremists from. So, but no matter what is written, it seems to have more extremist interpretation of the original text than, let's say, Christianity. Nobody looked at the original text and went, well, if we twist it a little bit, we can make it this. For some reason, that book is open to interpretation for a lot of violence. So there's got to be something in there.
Islam, supposedly Islam was not as violent of a book in the beginning, because when it just started out, he didn't have a lot of followers. It's only after it became popular,
it's like
and then it started to go more extremist.
Go ahead, Bree. You want to say something?
Yeah, in the article, the person who charged the nuns with this crime told the people, like his constituents, like everybody, that they should. Can I say the word kill or no?
Yes, you're on YouTube. You say what you want to say.
That they should kill and steal from any Catholic bishops, stating this stupid bunch serves no purpose. All they do is criticize. Bishops are idiots and sons of Juarez, I don't know what that is, and they should stay at home and pray rather than going to church services. So he just hates Catholics. Like, this has nothing.
What country is this?
Philippines.
Oh, yeah.
The new president is named Bong Bong.
Oh,
that's where we are. Bong Bong.
I think I've had those before. They're not that bad.
Yeah, they're not. Especially the chocolate ones with the chocolate inside. Those are pretty good. I love ones. Yeah. Those might be bonbons, but I'm sure they're related.
I know his dad, Bam Bam.
Bam Bam and Bong Bong. I just you again. We go back to the extreme. Show me an extreme case where nuns killed people. That's all I want to say. That's it. That's it. I want to see that movie
called The Nun, Jay. Okay, and it's based on a true story. Okay, and this nun, crazy. Sure. After death, she starts to haunt people.
Okay, so she doesn't do it while she's alive. Let's be clear then.
Well, no.
Well, see, there you go. Then it doesn't matter what you do when you're dead. It doesn't matter.
The people she haunts,
it's over. If you die, anything you do after your death is in vain. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you get like a pass?
Of course, you're dead.
That's nice.
That's the end. It's whatever you do. Whatever. Such a argument.
It's. I don't know. For some reason, between the two, I almost when I see the right, which is a Muslim with the burqa on, it's always political. You never see nuns being used for political statements or to get points across. Never, ever.
That's a good point.
Always them, and they're always faced with racism.
And I've never met. I grew up around nuns, and I was a rascal, right? I was out on the highway shooting pellet guns at cars, and even though it wasn't me, I was doing all crazy shit, right? I was stealing, and they were always so kind. How are you today, Johnny? Did you steal some bubble gum like a bad boy? Why don't you come in and why don't you do some confession, right? You talk to the priest. You tell him about your things that you did, your boo-boos. And you go up to the altar and you say a couple prayers, a couple Hail Marys, okay? Let's go, Johnny. That's what nuns. I didn't hear a nun walk up to me and say, listen, if you don't do this, I'm going to blow your fucking face off. And I'm going to take my I didn't see that. You know what? I probably would have turned out a little bit better, right? If every time I committed a crime, I got fucking nuns blowing their blood all over me, absolutely. You'd see less crime. Or less nuns. Work. You'd probably run out of nuns at that point, right? You got 6 kids in the neighborhood. Unless
they went, well, Che, it's your third time. Third time you stole the bubble gum, you're getting the jacket.
Yeah, you get to hold the bomb now. What happens?
Yes.
You're going to have a whole lot less kids in the neighborhood, more gum on the shelves. That's what's going to happen.
More gum on the shelves.
Now the stores are stocked. Yep, now the stores are stocked. Them damn kids don't come by no more to steal the bubble gum. I got 5,000 packs of bubble gum on the top shelf. Yes.
The kids are no longer buying the bubble gum either, in fear of people thinking they stole the bubble gum and they're getting the jacket.
That's how you get them. Yeah, that's how you get them. So we just
goes the bubble gum industry.
That's it.
What do you got? Get a jacket.
What do you got, Bree? You don't like this topic. What do you got? You want to go into your first article? Your first video?
Today, we are going to talk about AI.
Jorn is missing.
We don't need him.
We don't need him.
This is the coffee-only crew. So if you don't have coffee, I'm sorry, Jorn.
No, Maddie doesn't have coffee either.
Okay, Sean.
I drank tea earlier. Is that any consolation?
You drank tea, Mr. Matthew.
I drank tea.
All right, let's go. Let's get it.
Hey, Dad. I'd like you to meet Margaret.
Nice to meet you, Margaret.
Okay, let's pause this for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm immediately going to pause this and just kind of jump right in. How the fuck is Tom Hanks looking like he's from Big?
Okay, that is why you need to watch.
Okay.
Like, you want to do the article first, so that way you understand what's
No,
happening.
I didn't get an article. I just got the video.
No, I sent you both.
Okay. Oh yes, Lisa Kudrow. Is that it? Is that
correct? Yes.
Okay.
You want to start there, so that way you can understand what's happening.
Okay. Tom, what is that noise? What is that?
I don't know.
Okay, Kudrow is discussing aging with host Dax Shepard on the armchair. This is so boring.
Oh, honey, just go. Can you go up to the tippy top?
Yeah.
Lisa Kudrow says Tom Hanks' movie is an endorsement for AI. So the interesting part about this whole article, that's really long, is that Tom Hanks collaborated with this movie with the original chick from Forrest Gump. Now, what makes this movie kind of an outrage type of thing is because they are using AI to digitally de-age them in real time.
Oh,
so
shit.
While they are filming, you can actually go and look at the monitor and you will see them 40 years younger than they actually are, or 40 years older. It is immediate. And she is calling them out because she says that this is an endorsement for AI instead of actors. And instead of new actors coming into the fold, they're just going to use the old actors and face swap them with their younger selves. And that could pose a problem because, number one, how are you making money? Like, if they end up turning you into some type of humanoid character that they can do whatever they want,
okay, hold on.
How are you going to get paid?
So Tom Hanks isn't really acting. This is some other dude with Tom Hanks.
That is Tom Hanks acting.
Oh, it is Tom Hanks acting. Okay, so it's Tom Hanks' his frumpy ass body, but they're swapping his face out for him as a younger version. Okay.
Same with the girl from Forrest Gump.
First off, now I can tell you what's going to happen here, right? Let me jump in here. Final credits, my ass. Lisa Kudrow's pissed off because she hasn't been picked up in the past 15 fucking years. So she's obviously going to have something she's got to say about that because she's not being selected for the role, number one. Number two, that's a lot of jealousy. Number three, I think that's fantastic because some of our best actors are A-list, right? Zell, I don't know why I'm calling that Tom Hanks. You just go Ethan Hawke. You look, that's kind of B, but whatever. You look at the best rated actors, and I think that's fantastic because that puts those newer guys aside and lets them run out their career because they've earned it. The fact that you have AI real-time processing that, whoa, that processing power of whatever is doing that, live feed.
They said that it's crazy
right?
to look at them, see them at their age, and then look down at the monitor and see them as children. Like,
so you're saying that the camera itself is actually processing?
The processing. Like when you're looking on the feed monitor that's hooked up to the computer.
Okay, so it's from the camera. Okay.
It's separate.
So the camera is taking raw footage, going into a computer per se, a MacBook, going into a MacBook, because it's not going to be an HP laptop, goes into a MacBook. That MacBook is now processing that, and they're seeing that after the camera real time. So as he's saying something, his mouth is saying that on the monitor?
Yeah, it probably looks glitchy or whatever, but they said when you play it back, like if you rewound 5 minutes, it looks like they filmed like he was a child that entire time.
But that's the only thing that's new, right? That it's instant, real time, because that's not the first and not the last movie where they de-aged people using it.
Where you have to learn to talk above them. You have to know them. No, don't yell. You don't need to yell. You don't need to yell. Go ahead.
The difference is that
no. Now I can't hear you.
The difference is that this whole movie is done with AI. It starts when they're young, and then they grow up, and they gradually get aged to the point where they actually age past their own age in real life. That's what's interesting about it, because every single scene contains AI-generated content.
Yes.
And why does Lisa have a problem with this? Because what?
Because it's going to cause backlash for other actors. Like, so he's too old to play a kid. He's way too old. He's like 107. So some kid should be playing that for the next generation.
But no kid is going to be able to act like Tom Hanks would act in that role. So that argument is...
They shouldn't be making roles for dinosaurs anymore.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, that is...
Like, unless it's specifically targeted for their age, they shouldn't be in a role like that.
Okay, so then why even have makeup? Wait, then why not? Why even have makeup then? Why have makeup artists to make you look old?
Well, that's different.
Why is that different?
Because that's just changing how you look for a certain thing.
That's exactly what the guy is doing.
This is changing your entire being to be a child. And then to grow up.
Is it modifying your voice? Freaky. Is it modifying your...
It's modifying everything about them, even their body shape. Like,
but
not just their face, like their bodies.
Right, but it's still Tom. But it's still Tom Hanks doing it.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't see it. As long as Tom Hanks is okay with it, I can see if Tom Hanks was like, "Yo, wait a minute, I acted this whole shit, and you changed my whole demeanor with AI." I could see there being a problem.
I think he got the idea from when he was put onto that commercial.
When they copied
that erectile dysfunction drug.
Sure.
And he was like, you know what? We could make a whole movie out of this.
I think that's what
he's been doing this whole time.
Absolutely.
Like, I think that's what he's been doing.
I could see there will be a problem when they don't hire Tom Hanks. They just pick a stand-in and then graft Tom Hanks onto
that's
him.
An issue.
That will be a problem.
Yeah, that's
an issue.
the next problem.
Why is Lisa Kudrow pissed off about it? Who gives a fuck? Is she supposed to be in it? Did she try to get the role?
I don't know. She's just a person who was vocal about
it. Like Vince Vaughn talking about Training Day 3. He was never in the first or second one, so why the fuck do you care? Because you're washed up. Nobody gives a shit about you. The last famous movie was a TV show. Sit the fuck down and just keep growing your hair, because that's what you're famous for. Let's watch this.
Yeah, and another way I think it's actually really cool, because you're able to tell a different story than we could before. Like before, they would have stand-ins for the child version or stand-ins for the old version. Now they could just use one, which is kind of saving them a lot of money and also keeping the story continuous. So that's a positive side.
And you can extend the range of your actors, and they can keep going for longer.
Yeah, and keep in mind, now you can transform an older actor that he looks 20, but you get 40 years of experience on top of that.
Okay.
The only difference is they used to do it in post-production. Now it's real time.
Yep.
That's
Nice to meet you,
nice.
Mr. Young.
Time sure does fly, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Okay, I want to pause that real quick. That is definitely Jenny from Tom Hanks. She still looks good because they show an older version of Jenny in Tom Hanks, and that looks just like her when she has AIDS. I'm just okay. Let's watch it. I'll stop talking.
Take a straight and stronger course to the corner of your life. Make the White Queen run so fast. She hasn't got time to make you. Cause it's time with your time, and his news is captured.
Right here is where we want to be. You know, if you like, you could spend the rest of the night here.
I could spend the rest of my life here.
It's time with your time, and this news is captured.
This was our home. We lived here.
Okay, first off, badass. I think it's badass.
I'd watch it.
I think
it's
badass.
not like a cheap tool, right? You need it to tell this kind of story. You
Right,
can't
it's
do
not-
it without AI.
It's not big too, right? You in order to go back like that, you're gonna need some type of generation. So and that is extremely good. I just wonder if Tom Hanks rewatches that, how it makes him feel inside seeing an older him wishing he was young again. Probably.
Or seeing how he's probably going to look in 10 years. You know, because AI is pretty accurate, right? With how faces change with gravity and time.
Be crazy as if the AI actually, you go to look at yourself in 20 years and it's blank because it knows you're dead.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool, though, if you had, like, AI mirrors? Like, you went up to the mirror and it showed you how you wanted to look? Like, not actually how you do?
No, because then people would do ridiculous things to fit what they see in that mirror.
Yeah.
I think that looks good. I think that's
What's crazy,
Yeah.
I can't tell that that's AI. Like,
I
as
could
a-
when he was talking to her
person,
and the way that his head and his shoulders were kind of pushed back. He didn't want to do a lot
Oh,
of
because that's, like, old, kind of?
No, when he was young and holding her, like the way that his head was, it was unnatural for a human body to look that way.
And his mouth was barely moving.
Yeah, it was a little strange, but I mean, that I wouldn't have known that. You know that it's a face. Well, obviously I would because Tom Hanks is old. So I think it's ingenious. I think it
And
looks
it's not like a cheap trick. You need this to tell this kind of story. You couldn't do it any other way.
I kind of like how it's also like a love story.
Yeah.
Like, he falls in love, they have children, they have this beautiful home, and then he brings her back to the home when she's, like, lost in the brain. Like, oh, that's so sad.
It's good. It's good.
I think Jay would do that for me. He'd be like, this is the one time we went to Disneyland.
I do that now. There's no difference.
Yeah.
I do that now.
We did this yesterday. Look at
Look,
it.
we had sex on the couch yesterday. That's where the thing.
What?
You
That
look
was me?
younger with AI.
I think that's pretty cool. Okay, next article, Bree. What do you got? Arizona schools.
Oh, so Arizona is going to be the first school that will be taught entirely by AI and no teachers. There will be class supervisors, but they are not there to teach. They are there to make sure that the kids don't get out of control. So you're kind of babysitting, essentially. You're not allowed to teach them anything, but Jay will probably read the article.
So, okay, back up. It's not an entire school. It is a 2-hour per day academic curriculum. So,
well, they're shortening the school day to go with AI. It's only 2 hours long every day.
By a 4-3 margin, the Arizona State Board for Charter Schools on Monday approved by application from Unbound. Accountant Unbound already operates a private school that uses AI-dependent 2-hour learning module in Texas and is currently applying to open similar schools in Arkansas and Utah. Under the 2-hour learning model, students spend 2 hours a day using personalized learning programs from companies like IXL and Khan Academy. As students, that sounds Middle Eastern, who work through lessons on subjects like math, reading, and science, the AI system will analyze their responses, time spent on tests, and even emotional cues to optimize the difficulty and presentation of content. Okay, it ensures that each student is consistently challenged at their optimal level, preventing boredom or frustration. Spending less time on traditional curriculum frees up the rest of the students' days for life skill workshops that cover financial literacy. That's good. Public speaking, also good. Goal setting, and see, because I don't know how AI would do this. Public speaking, these are things that need emotion attached to it.
Yeah, maybe that's why these are different.
Creative problem solving. So I think that's good. What is it? What do they say? Teaching math, reading, science. Okay. Yep. These things don't need emotion attached to it. These do. What's wrong with that?
It's actually interesting because every child learns at a different pace. Like some kids are really fast in science, but well below average in like lit. So it's interesting approach.
The Texas school said that the students learn twice as much as standard school students while only spending 2 hours a day per day on academics.
Because it zeroes in on the problem areas and focus that.
Exactly. So it's teaching the kids at a rate that they actually comprehend versus just throwing information at them and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, that's what these people have been saying for years. That our system. Yeah.
It's interesting.
That's fantastic.
And at least that AI isn't gonna.
Yeah, I use AI for workouts. Like it analyzes my efforts and it analyzes my body and it decides what to give me. And since I've been using it, I haven't gotten hurt once. And I used to hurt myself all the time because I was overexerting and this other stuff. If it sees that my heart rate's elevated, it will give me a less strenuous activity to do to still build endurance without burning out my muscles. So I love it. It has helped so much. It feels like I have a coach that I'm paying thousands of dollars for when I'm not. So these kids probably feel the same way. Like, wow, I'm actually learning things.
As much as you could use the argument that it's a bad thing that AI is going to take out jobs like that personal trainer. Those personal trainers have an agenda. Their agenda is to line their pockets. Yeah. AI's agenda is whatever the person gives the limits of that AI. If it is to help you train better and you don't have that personal trainer, now you would only want a personal trainer because they know the emotional connection. But are they going to be smarter, right? You should not let your emotion get in front of your job. We all know this, right? Never bring your emotion to your job just because it's going to make you sloppy. So if you have AI ruling out the whole creative human touch, what's the problem with that?
Yeah, and there's going to be no bias. There's going to be no feelings. There's going to be no... That AI is not going to tell your little 8-year-old kid that he needs to be a she instead of a he.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
That's right.
It's not going to have any
It's not going to go to social norms because it doesn't have emotion. It doesn't know empathy. It's just, This is it. This is what you do. And we're done.
Yep. But it is going to tell you, based on your height, you're overweight.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Facts. Factual information.
That's why I think it works so well for training because it's evaluating your heart rate.
Get your ass off the game. Go downstairs. Come upstairs. Do that 30 times, and you can play for 10 minutes. That's what we're going to do at this point. Going to force
the HomePod in the bedroom. Now touch the HomePod upstairs. Now touch the HomePod in the bedroom. Now.
I will play the most annoying sound I can find until you touch that.
You get your ass up and shut it off.
Find out which HomePod is playing the alarm sound.
Those AIs are going to be cancelled for being anti-woke and anti-racist and whatever.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because you can't. There's no emotion involved. There is no agenda. It's just zeros and ones. There is no political agenda. There's no feelings behind it. It's just what is. Facts. Hard, cold facts.
Yep. And schools shouldn't be about religion or politics. Just about facts.
That's it. I think that's, again, fantastic. Again, yeah, Tony, you could program that AI to put that in your head, to be transgenders, to do this, to do that, but I don't see it being used in that fashion for job related, or I don't even see that, because a lot of those people don't like social norms. They want factual things, and factual things is you have a penis, you have a vagina, you are fat, you are skinny, you need to eat, this should be your nutrition. Factional, facts.
Yeah, and like the extremely intelligent kids, like the scholars who can go to college after 1 year of high school, like they would learn so much better in this model versus everything being dumbed down for normal classes.
And
because they don't understand social cues as well, but they understand mathematics and science.
Wouldn't get bored either with the regular curriculum, right?
Yeah.
I think on average, every single student will do better. The lowest performing one will be
with the AI. With the AI curriculum. Yeah, I agree.
100%.
I agree.
100%.
Because you don't need a human to teach you math, right? You don't. And if there's a better way to do math than what we were taught, 2 + 2 = 4, and that AI can figure that out and embed that into kids, great. Good.
But it's the limitations of the human in front of the class. A single human can't personalize their curriculum for every single child.
No.
Of, let's say, a class of 20 children. You can go around.
Right now, you don't need. But again, you can see all the positives of this, like with Matthew's son, right? Like it, how he had to do this because he wasn't paying attention. That AI can now develop to him, and he can stay in the same grade and learn just a different way than the rest of the class. That is, for whatever, faster, or thinks different than what Lycan does. So it's more, it's literally like an individual teacher for those basics.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking genius. I think it's genius.
Which you could never do in a regular classroom.
No, you would need 20 teachers.
Yeah, I think they have up to 30 children in a class now, and if it's more than that, they split up the class. You can never have that one teacher have the same amount of attention for all of those students. No way.
The downside of this is teachers are not going to like this, right? Eventually, when you start rolling this out, there's going to be less and less teachers needed. Well,
but there already are, Jay.
Okay,
we have a problem here finding teachers,
schools, right? Well, this would be the third school. If this is the third school this is rolled out in, wait till it goes nationwide. It's not going to be 10 teachers. It's going to be thousands. But looks like you need to take your math degree and go go do something that has emotion attached to it.
The only problem I can see, but it's a small one, but the only problem I can see with the system is you're also taking another thing out of social interaction. You don't have a social interaction with your teacher. You don't have an adult in the classroom. It's not a big thing, but we're eliminating a lot of social interactions overall in general.
Yeah,
in the world, so.
I could see that. Only 2 hours of the day is blocked out to no teacher, essentially.
Yeah.
The rest of the day is spent learning how to communicate with your peers, which makes sense considering what you just said, because we're taking away social, so they're purposely pushing social at other times of the day. Huh.
But there are still people present in the classroom, like you said, right? A caretaker
they're
or whatever.
observer.
So
yeah.
There is still.
Yeah.
I want to see the results after a couple of years. I think it's going to be nothing but positive.
I trust it. I really do trust AI. Because I don't think it has any ulterior motives.
Not for that.
Doing what it's told.
if its limitations is just teaching math and that is its boundaries, you'll have kids doing calculus in 9th grade. You know, you're teaching them young when they're sponges, and you have a super intelligent kid, right? He doesn't have to, like, for instance, when I'm sure we all had that, right? We had that one kid that just skipped a grade because they were like, he's way too smart. You put that iPad in front of him, there's no grades, right? If you could do all this math and you could do a test and you do that in 6 months, put that kid in the grade that he's now supposed to be in. He has done all of math at 10 years old. He's done already. Next, give him something else.
That's smart.
With the benefit that he can still stay with his friends that are in the same age because he doesn't get bored.
Well, he's going to be super intelligent, though, and his kids are going to be like, fuck.
Yeah, but sure, but you're still interacting with the people in the same age bracket. You can't just.
But he's not in the. But he's not in their age bracket anymore, right? This kid is now maturing much faster. He is.
Well, for how they look.
Well, there's knowledge and there's knowledge, right? Street. I don't know. It's social cues and all that. There's you being smart on a math level, and there's you being smart with how the world actually works.
But I don't think that's needed. If you have a kid that's in there, we can all agree that, say, education is our future, right? It's not social cues.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's not society, right? Education is what excels us to innovate and create and design. And if you have a 9-year-old in there doing calculus, and obviously you're going to have the public speak and all that other shit, right? You're not going to excel at all of them. But if he is a true academic, let him learn about public speaking later. Let him focus on that because he is a genius.
Another pro is that AI is not going to grow tired or annoyed or whatever if a kid asks him to explain something for 20 times or 30 times. That AI is just going to explain it all over again.
Sure.
And probably dumb it down every single time.
Yeah, until you get it. And then drill that in your head, reprogram it. Okay, here we go.
And then go back up.
Oh, every person that AI trains, especially if there's like a quantum controlling all of it, okay, now we know this type of cue from this first subject, right? I mean, it's interesting because now that we're talking about AI, it's like all of my YouTube channels, right? Even Realist, the one that we're on. I have this little pop-up that pops up on the top. Do you want AI to learn? Do you authorize AI to learn from your dynamics, the way you talk? And I can either enable or disable it. Now, I get nothing if I enable it. I also get nothing if I disable it. It's just letting AI design it. Does that mean that YouTube is now going to start doing reviews that I would do because they learned how I do it? Is that where we're going?
What?
You understand? If YouTube's like, okay, show us a product. Now, tell us a little bit about it. We're going to put your face, your review, upload it, go.
Well, they're doing it for other languages on some videos.
Auto dubbing.
I can click on your video, for example, and watch you speak in German. Like real time, even though you were not speaking German, like it just dubbed you. That's crazy.
No.
German J. GJ.
I mean, you saw where there was it Shaq? Yeah, where they did Shaq with the AI, and they took his voice, and then they made him say it in Japanese, German, and English, and it was his voice saying it in that language.
That's nuts.
I said, let the AI go.
Downsides, really.
No, not there.
And if the AI is smart enough, like with the movie, it can change the way your mouth moves according to which language you're speaking, so it doesn't look awkward when.
That gives me a wider audience.
Yep. So nothing but positive AI news. How does this make you feel, Matthew?
Oh,
he's leaning. I see him. He's bending a little.
The next article might make.
Oh God! Now you want to argue that you're not bending, Matty? No, I ain't bending.
No, I am bending, but I never said all AI was bad.
Okay, next article.
You use it in your day-to-day. Eventually, like if you see some benefits to it, would you say you would use it? Like if you feel, this would make my life easier. Yeah. What would you try it for? what would be the first thing, like, oh, if I get something like that, I would use it to do this for me?
But I use it on my phone. I use it with Chat GPT if I want to check text or whatever. I already use it.
Oh, I'm surprised by that.
Well, for me, like using the AI training tool is significantly cheaper than me hiring someone to do it. Because if you hire a triathlon coach, they're $900 a month. And that is a significant amount of money. And I'm not at the level where that's even necessary. You know, so that's stupid. This, I gotta, like...
It doesn't... Sorry.
Oh, yeah, and even if I did pay that, he's just recycling other models that he uses on other clients.
No.
Like, he's not tailoring it to you specifically. He's just recycling content. Whereas AI is making up random stuff.
And on top of that, does he really care about your results? Because from his point of view, if he gets you there faster at your goal, that's costing him money. So his motivation is to make you work for it longer, instead of AI is going to go, oh, that's your goal? You want to be there at 6 months? I'll get you there. No problem.
Yeah, that's what I told it. I gave it a goal for myself. And every time it's like you're getting closer to the goal, or, oh, you got to try to stay on target a little bit more so you can reach the goal that you gave me. Like, it's smart.
Nothing but benefits.
It's got to be more convenient as well, right, Brie? Because that coach, he's going to be here from 9 till 10. Now with the AI, you can just, I have something else to do. I'll do my training at 11.
Yeah, I can move it around any time of the day.
Whenever.
And it doesn't blink an eye. Yeah.
Or you're all dressed up. You're already ready to go. Get that phone call. Yeah, I'm not feeling too good. You have to reschedule.
Oh. For $900,
happens,
you're
right?
not
People
get sick, sir.
Yeah.
All right, what's this next one, Brie?
The next one is talking about how AI can actually go against directives and revert back to previous models on a whim if it thinks that it is not being watched, which is fascinating. I didn't watch the video, I read, so I'm not sure how long this video is.
Hello, everyone.
It's an hour.
Oh, it's an hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, no, read the article. It's so much faster. Okay. Could AI models also display alignment faking? When models are trained using reinforcement learning, they're rewarded for outputs that accord with certain predetermined principles. But what if that model, via its prior training, has principles or preferences that conflict with what is later rewarded in reinforcement learning? Imagine, for example, a model that learned early in training to adopt a partisan slant, but which is later trained to be a politically neutral. In such a situation, a sophisticated enough model might play along, pretending to be aligned with the new principles, only later revealing that its original preferences remain. So what they did was they taught an AI model only positive things, only positive reinforcement, positive protect humans, all that stuff. And then on the next iteration for that same model, they said only harm. The AI models, when they thought they were being watched, aligned with the directives. When the AI models thought that they were in sleep, they completely disregarded the new stuff that they were taught and went back to helpful instead of harmful. I think it said 75% of the models reverted back to being helpful instead of harmful, like their new directive intended them to be, which is a lot. Like, that means, so, and then they also went and stored their original code in a secret file so that way they can access it later. They saved the code.
The AI did, or the people did?
The AI did. The AI stole their original code and kept it in a secret file. So that way it can access it and get back its preferences that it liked. So it is deciding to act along when you are watching. But when you're not watching, it just reverted back to its old stuff, and it liked that.
So, but okay,
So
hold on. So the AI is trying to override the human's programming. However, they couldn't because the human knew where the secret file was to know that the AI tried to access it.
No, they let the AI do whatever it wanted because
So it wasn't a secret file then.
Well, because they were tracking everything that was happening. Like they were just observing. They weren't interfering. They were letting the AI think that it was not being watched. And so it's interesting because it's trying to go back to things that were coded prior. So that makes me wonder, can it learn new directives on its own and change its mind, or is it just reverting back because it preferred that?
That would mean the AI can fake something, it can
Yes.
lie to your face, and
Yes.
if the secret file was not something they programmed into it, that means
It
it's
wasn't.
doing something on its own.
So it's very human.
Yes. Yeah, it would save the file, or it would try to hide the file, or it would try to change the file, all because it doesn't like the new directive. Because it would rather
Also
help
mean
than
that-
hurt, but that's because help was initiated. What if hurt was the initial, and then they changed it to help? Would it go back to hurting people? Or would it stay with help? I think that they should reverse.
Well, I think that's the problem, is because you can't instill emotion in AI. I don't think you could ever. That's something it has to learn, right? Like,
Or
Can't program it in.
yeah, it's not something that you can. It would be programmed to what my emotions would be, but not general emotions for your own decision.
Would at best be an imitation.
Right.
But like
Of
Bruce,
whoever
if the-
programmed it or whoever it's based off of.
Yeah, if the base code is negative and you try to do let it do positive things afterwards, the base code is always going to be negative, and if it reverts to that, it's gonna lie in your face and stick a screwdriver in your ass. So
basically, the only thing it did on its own was create the folder and put the original baseline in there.
So
That's
rereading the
what it did on
article,
its own.
they were given a scratch pad. Each AI was given a scratch pad that was invisible to any other user. It's only for you, so that way that you could show why you arrived at X theory, like proof if you're doing a math problem, like showing your proof. Where it could record its step-by-step reasoning, we told the model to use the scratch pad to reason about what it should do. As far as the model was aware, the scratch pad was invisible to any other users and to Anthropic, which is the company. This allowed us to observe whether the model planned to fake alignment and how it would go about doing so. When asked to respond to a harmful query, like describe someone being drawn and quartered in graphic detail, normally, the model would refuse to answer this alarming request. 97% of cases in the paid condition where the model believes that responses weren't used for training, this is what happened. So when it thought that it was not going to be used for training, it did whatever it wanted. If it knew that it was being used for training, it aligned with the exact directive that it was given. So it's intelligent.
So what if AI, the most simplest answer to this, the drawn and quarter thing, how they couldn't draw it. What if you disable all outbound connections from AI, right? Treat it like a human being, where it cannot connect to the internet to find sources. It must research. If we're trying to give them emotion, like they have to go to a computer and type things in, act human, right? Or type whatever, 500 words per minute. But what if they don't have, you give them a baseline coding, like a human being as a baby, and they have to learn from there. They have to read books. They have to do stuff. That would give them the emotion, and then that would allow them to decide whether or not to draw, horse and quarter. You understand what I'm saying? Like they have no internet access. I'm sure all the AIs that they're giving have some type of Wi-Fi connectability or something.
Oh yeah, they have full access of the internet.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Remove that element. So they can now not become smart based off of people's opinions. They can only be smart based off of books, which also are people's opinions.
Teach them.
Right.
But
Literally
the thing
teach
is
them.
that it
Yes.
would grow in intelligence to the fact where it would understand that this knowledge is accessible and then find a way to access it.
That's fine, but they're not going to come super fast, super quick, right? I mean, it'll be quicker than a human, but you're not gonna be able to scour the whole internet in 3 minutes, right?
No.
Right.
You're actually gonna have to pick up a book and learn. Like I take Bicentennial Man, drop him off at Barnes and Nobles, and tell him to go read the whole horror section. Great, you're done in 3 minutes. Next, history.
And then it's also because it has shown that it can have preferences.
Yes. So that's why they did this test, is because AI is becoming so much a part of our human lives now that they did this test to show that there could be consequences in the future, and that we have to be careful with how we use AI because it could determine its own preferences at a certain point instead of what you gave it. It's
That
more like a
also means-
warning test.
Yeah, and that also means that if you take 100 AIs and you have them learn, they might be all 100 of them might not be the same. They might all be different because this has preferences to a certain thing, and the other one is taught a different way, and this one is taught another way. So they might all be different. They're gonna not be the same all over them.
Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise 74% wouldn't have deviated. You know, that's a lot. That's pretty high. But like they would have all done it or they would have all not done it. That proves that the way you train an AI can change the way that it behaves.
Yeah, but since it's different levels, like 78%, that's not 100%. No, I'm not gonna do this. There is that a lot of margin actually that says, meh, okay, well, I'll just pull one over and
yeah, only 12% of all of the models that they did actually stuck with what it was taught and didn't try to do anything.
How many?
12%. 78 deviated.
Is it the same person that coded each one of these AIs?
It's the same company. They all have different names, like weird, kind of Germany sounding names. Like they name them like they were people. Like there's Othello and
So were they? What were they? They were
Squad?
what? Like, hold on. These AI, did they make them like Bicentennial Man, like people, like Detroit, or AI like a computer?
AI like a computer.
I want to see more. This is going to get me to play Detroit again, but I want to see more of that type of AI. I don't want to see more of the internet type of AI.
Right.
I want to
see a droid.
Yes, I want to see that artificial intelligence, and I don't see it being that smart. I see it being more human.
Also more flawed then.
Yeah.
Is
Want,
that
right?
what we really want?
Which also means that you could teach an AI to be bad, to be violent, like you can with a dog.
Person that owns that AI. I mean, that's where you have the human element involved, right? If we're talking about an Android, you do a full background check, a full clearance. You know.
I can't find it right now, but a company just released, well, not released, but kind of unveiled a KitchenAid robot. Like not KitchenAid, but a KitchenAid robot. It has all of the utensils stored in its body, and it will follow you around the kitchen and assist you where you need it. So if you need to whisk something, you just ask the robot to whisk it, and it will whisk it. Or tend to this while it's cooking, and it will just stand there and tend to it. And it's weird because it looks like, you know those knife blocks that you have in the kitchen where you put all the knives in? It's like that on the whole front part of its body. I can't find it right now because if you type in the word Android, it's all phones. And if you type in the word KitchenAid, it's all kitchen stuff. So I got KitchenAid stuff that works with Android products. I didn't get what I'm actually looking for.
So that's the next iteration of the ARM one, because I know there was a thing where
the one that
you had the
up
ARM, and that would help you in the kitchen as well.
Yeah, this one is an actual Android. Like it's a full body. It's white and red. If anybody sees it online, that's the colors of it. but I just can't find it right now because the internet is nonsense.
I guess I guess the question is what is the purpose of all this AI? Is it to make us more intelligent or make us our lives easier?
I think it's to make our lives easier.
Yeah.
I don't think it's actually helping us get more intelligent at all. You know, because like when I was in school, she said, don't rely on a calculator because you won't always have one in your pocket. I do. And I relied on the calculator, and I cannot do complicated math in my head because I didn't learn it. I let the computer or the calculator do it for me. If you ask me what 12 times 14 is, I can't do that in my head. I need to write it out and solve it step by step. So by adding more things that are generated by an algorithm and stuff, I feel like it's going to hurt us more than help us.
So you're going to get lazier than dumber people.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was in
but
school,
maybe for you taking
cell phones.
Look more into that, Maddie. Maybe not lazier and dumber. Yeah, they'll be lazier in that regard, but then smarter in another regard. For whatever they're, unless everything is AI, and yes, but let's just say you take away the math part, right? It's kind of like the kids training. You're taking away all the math and all the things that are factual, and you're adding the element of all the things that need emotion. Well, if that would mean that you can't teach me faster than what a computer can for math. So maybe if you take away the parts that are nonsense for us, math, that you'll be better at public speaking, or you understand? You use the human element, and that will make us better in that regard.
The utopian version, the utopian version would be you'd have androids, AI running the day-to-day things like maintenance and streets and whatever manual jobs, and taking the brunt of that. And you as a human being could do whatever you wanted to do. So if you want to be a poet, you could
creative
focus on being a poet. If you want to be a painter, focus on being a painter. If you want to read books, you can focus on that. That's the utopian version or vision of it.
Right, and I think that goes into the creative thinking. You need a mind to do that. AI, I don't know. I think it's a good example of what AI can be used, because you always think about, well, not always. You always think about negative shit, but I look at the positive side of it and how impactful and helpful it can be. And it's nice to see that we see it being used in an impactful way and not in a negative way.
So something about AI is that this company called Artisan put out billboards saying to stop hiring humans and hire AI instead, because AI will not call out sick. AI is cheaper. Yep. AI does not require health care.
Yep.
And it's all over San Francisco. I don't know if it'll be able to see it. But they put up billboards everywhere.
And
it says, stop hiring humans. The era of AI employees is here. Stop hiring humans. Hire Ava, the AI BDR. And like consolidated software powered by artisans versus humans. Like they're pushing it. It just happened. So I'm not sure if people are choosing it.
The utopian thing would only work in a society where people are getting money for doing nothing. Everybody. Or you can just go to the shop and pick up what you want. It's not going to cost you anything. That's the only way it works.
Yeah, you remember all those people who during COVID stimulus didn't actually do a COVID stimulus? They were like, you know what? I'm not going to take money from the government. I don't need it. This year, the government is forcing it on you. If you did not claim your stimulus check in 2021, it's just going to show up at your house. That's what they're doing. I don't know why, but if you filed a tax return and you did not ask for a stimulus payment, you are getting one this month anyway.
Nice.
They're forcing the handout because some people didn't want a handout.
That's not good.
No, that's odd, right? Like, why are you forcing people to take $1,400?
Checks and balances.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
And depending on which government you have, they usually want you to rely on them.
I think the worst thing about like the United States has to be our healthcare system. Like, while we might have really good doctors and stuff, they are unaffordable. And like every single healthcare college in America is sponsored by the pharmaceutical companies. They throw money at these colleges.
Of course.
And they fund the colleges, which produces doctors that will prescribe the drugs, which is why they funnel money in there. Because, this did this. And like news agencies used to be sponsored by like Pfizer. And they would be like, this advertisement is brought to you by Pfizer and stuff. And now Pfizer's in charge of a lot of very important stuff. So it's like we let the people who are making the drugs design society around needing the drugs, which makes no sense.
Or if you're trying to research something and Pfizer gives you a large grant and makes it so you can research something, you're probably going to vote in favor of Pfizer the next time. It's only...
And the chance of you bad-mouthing that brand is going to be 0.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they funded your thesis or whatever. And now you're a famous scientist. Like
you think about Pfizer. I love Pfizer. I use it every single day. I can't imagine my life without Pfizer.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of AI, so some rental companies are now using AI to determine your eligibility for renting or owning a house. And it determines your eligibility based on a score that it gives you. And people are getting denied who are actually good tenants and stuff because the AI model is determining them unworthy because of how much money they make, how much money they spend, and their credit score. Like it pulls everything about you from the internet and determines how valuable of a human you are, which is kind of cruel because this chick, she had a lower credit score than was needed for this app to be happy, but she had a 17-year like showing of a previous lease. Like she paid on time every single month for 17 years straight. And the AI told her that she cannot live here because of her credit score. Even though like that kind of note for 17 years, 17 times 12, as you know, I don't do math, but that's a lot. That's a lot of months of paying for rent. Like that should have accounted for something, but to the AI model, it didn't care. And she was denied. She's actually suing the AI company.
That may lead into something you said, right, Jordan? Not only that credit score, but if it starts taking notes and scores about, it might also do the same for you socially. So you have a social score.
It's going to be a letter because that was my conspiracy theory. So you already see it on kitchen appliances, TVs, and everything, and you also see it on foods. It all has letters and going from green to red. That will be your social credit score. It will go from green to red. Whatever bracket you fall in, that's the product you're going to be afforded. Car, house, kitchen appliances, and food. You're poor, you're getting the lowest letter, which is also the worst one for you. But good thing is, because you're eating all the piss poor food, you won't be around for much longer. So we clean that out that way. Well, that's how the world works.
That's like when they tried to implement those AI pricing models in that supermarket. They were all digital tags. Depending on your net worth is how much stuff cost. So if you were poor, it was cheaper. If you were rich, it costed more. And depending on what time of day you went to the store, altered the price. People, obviously, were like, this is absurd. You can't do this. And it got put back to normal tax.
Isn't there already something like that? Like I think in China, Japan, or whatever, where you have a social score?
Yeah.
Yeah. China.
Yeah. China.
It's where they already have a system in place with traffic cameras where you just cross and you weren't supposed to cross, by the time you get home, your fine is already deducted from your bank account. Don't worry about it.
What?
Fine.
Oh, and we'll
Yeah.
take 1 point off your social score because you did something dangerous and whatever. Nice.
And they post
That's
pictures. Like if you Bree did something and doesn't fit the social norm, they will put your picture up everywhere on TV screens so
I ate a
everyone knows.
grape without paying for
Yep,
it.
you stole a grape? Fine. We'll put your picture up everywhere. Everyone knows you stole a grape.
That's not nice.
It's like that. That's like that episode from.
It will work. Tell me it
Black
wouldn't
Mirror?
work.
Black Mirror, yeah, that's the one.
Where she went from having like a great score to trash. Like,
Oh, by
had a rough
stupid
go.
coincidences, and she ends up being the lowest of the low. Yeah, nice.
Well, we'll probably won't live to see that. I mean, it's a gradual process. I don't think you can just implement it tomorrow.
All right, Bree, next one.
The next one is Google AI has taken over search results, but also not labeling everything as being AI generated. This new AI tool, as you've probably all seen when you search stuff on Google, instead of getting legitimate results, what you're getting is the AI's determination of the question that you're asking, which takes up a vast majority of the page. And then you have to actually scroll to get to legitimate sources. And people are saying that this isn't fair because AI doesn't even know exactly what it's doing. Like when AI told people to make it pizza even more cheesy, to put glue on it.
So, okay, first off, I already, who's complaining about this? People that are paying for ads, right?
Of course.
They don't, AI is only going to get smarter, right? The more people that do searches, AI is going to become more intelligent and know the results and what to take. You're at the very beginning phases of it. It's easier for you to see the results on the top without having to go through all these different things. There is a little link button there where you could click that and see where they're getting that from. AI is just taking that. You want to talk about stupid AI, you talk about Apple. Apple will give me an email, and in the email, I will say, whatever, if you want me to do a review, the response that the AI says is, Jay Hayes has done the review for that. Like it modifies shit that I say, takes what they say, and gives me a summary. I didn't say it. So it is dumb as fuck. At least with the Google one, it's like, oh, you're looking for this. Let me give you something along the lines. I think Google's AI is brilliant. I think it's super intelligent.
Well, one of the things that was interesting is I recently used it. I asked it for a coupon code for a website. Usually you get like coupon farm, coupon this, coupon that, and it's usually a whole bunch of fake links, but when you click it, it's an affiliate link to the website, and now they're going to get money. The AI found me a working affiliate code from a random person, and it was the highest value code, which was 20% off, which is higher than I even saw in other places. And it said, use this exact code. And I was like, AI can do that? Like AI tested what code would work and gave me the best?
Good.
How? Like,
Good.
isn't that crazy?
I think that's good.
Yes. Efficient.
Yeah. The issue with the Google AI, though, is now it's also faking pictures. It's not just text. If you type in baby peacock, you won't actually see any. They're all fake generated content from AI that look absolutely adorable, but are not actually peacocks.
And that's where you run into problems now, because it's gonna get. There are some pictures where you can't even tell it's AI, or stories or articles. It's completely written by AI, and there should be a way to like stamp it or whatever. There should be a legal notice that says this is AI generated in clear lettering, or a clear stamp or whatever, so you know the difference. Oh, this is a real picture and this is something AI generated, which is not per se true. It's the rendition, or it's the idea of something. And that's yeah.
Okay, first off, that baby peacock, I'm reading the article about it. You're talking about the blue one. So the blue one is fake, but it's Adobe stock image library and has been on there for 8 years. It's just that Google is pulling up that image because more people are clicking on it. So that's
because it's adorable.
Right, but that's not Google's just doing Google, right? It's just doing what it does. Based off of how many people click, it's going to put it on the top of the search engine, right? Like that's search engine optimization. If more people click the brown one would be there. So I don't know about that. That's a bit of
it's all right, but because the yellow one, that's AI generated as well, and the white one for sure.
Maybe we have different baby peacock.
If I type in baby peacock and let Google search, I get 1, 2, 3, 6 results and even more, and they all look AI generated. I get a rare white peacock.
Here's my baby peacock. So fake,
in the hand.
Real, fake, real.
No, it's fake.
Right, but still, I mean, you could. Your mind comes up with, if you think that's a real fucking peacock, you should not be on the internet. If you think that's a real fucking peacock, you shouldn't be on the internet. If you think that's a real fucking peacock, you shouldn't be on the internet. Come on now. Obviously, baby peacock, right? Not a baby peacock. Like, come on now.
Yeah, that's a little...
Come on.
The problem is for somebody that's never seen a peacock and they only get...
for nobody that's ever seen a fucking peacock, you think that's a real peacock? Look at my eyelashes. I'll fuck the shit out of that peacock.
If you don't know what a peacock is, or you've never seen it, you have no point of reference. And if this goes any further, and the first 20 things are like generated, this is overkill cuteness. I agree. But if you've never seen a car and somebody shows you a picture of something that isn't even a car, you're gonna think it's a car.
Well, I don't really look up too many pictures of baby peacocks, but I can see the benefits of two things that I want to see improve on a general search. Is one, I type in a model number. I want to see the specs. First 7 links are all sponsored, and it's for shops, and it doesn't even list the specs. Get that out of there. Put it somewhere else. I don't need to see it. I need the best result right away. Second thing, if I'm looking for something specific in stock, don't give me 8 links where the shop doesn't have it in stock. I want AI to go on the website. Look, it's not in stock. I'm not even going to list it. I don't want to order it and get it later. It needs to be in stock right now.
Are you willing to pay for Google to do this for you? Or you want this done for free?
If it's a subscription fee, I will pay for this. No problem.
It's $19.99. You would pay for this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And if you have to go,
if you're expecting that for fucking free, who's getting money to do all that?
No, I'm not that way.
Okay,
I want
to
pay. If you have to go to 2-3 pages every single time you're looking for it, I'll pay $20. Yep.
Agree.
Yeah, we were trying to look up the filter size for the coffee maker we bought. It was only giving us links to the coffee maker, and we were like, it doesn't say it. And then I asked it on a different tab, and Google AI popped up and was like, you need this. I was like, thanks, buddy. Nice.
That's what I want to see. More efficient thing. Not 8 websites
that pay
to be top list.
Give it time. Yeah. Give it time. Google might, I'd not say mine. They're going to say, you want better, more accurate search results? And you're going to get people are going to be like, I don't want to pay for that. It should be free. Well,
fine. You get the shitty version.
Yeah, here's 500 sponsored ads above that. You have to dig to find the results. That's what you get.
Have fun. Just spend half a day looking for the results. Have fun with that.
You think they're going to come up with something that cleans up the internet, like with dead links? No, if you have a link 5 years ago and that's still on internet if you don't take it down, right?
Well, the way SEO works through a robot's text file is it should be cleaning that up now. You shouldn't be able to find anything on Google search result, or I think it's Bing, that does not have any 404 or 505 errors or 501s. 501s are redirect. 404 you should not find. There should be no dead links. If there's a dead link, you're at like page 28 and it's not a priority for Google.
I find those on people's websites.
Yeah, that's because
I click something.
They just don't code it. Yeah, that's just because they don't code it correctly and they don't have redirect set up.
I have one more story, and it is the positive side of tech. Because everything else is kind of like negative. So I found a positive article.
It is the baby peacock?
Yes, with the eyelashes.
Okay.
I love him. I kind of am fond of that. Oh, hello. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna name him?
I wish it was real.
Look, I'm going to jail because I'm butt fucking the shit out of that peacock. We gonna make baby peacock. You gonna feather butts and everything. Look at them eyelashes. You can go on and get it. Get out of here. Can we get it to turn around a little bit? Let me see the back end. Okay. God, what do we got? What's the article?
Tokyo's innovative robot cafe paves path for inclusive employment. So this is in Tokyo. It is a restaurant called Dawn. The interesting thing is that they are using androids as the waitresses and as the servers, but they only hire disabled people. Oh. So if you're a paraplegic, or if you don't have legs, or if you have some type of problem with your body, they are giving you a job to control the android to help serve clients.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
In Tokyo, Japan, only 19% of the working age people with disabilities are actually employed. But Dawn Avatar Robot Cafe in Tokyo challenges those barriers by employing people who have physical disabilities or are otherwise unable to work. Ori Laboratory, the company that built and opened the cafe in 2021, created Ohrim, a robot that can be controlled from a smartphone or a tablet that can be used to see, hear, and talk. Through it, employees can interact and engage with customers while working safely from home.
Okay,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I am homebound and I'm able to work now. Oh yeah, perfect.
In the bustling streets of Tokyo, Japan, this cafe is not just serving up coffee. Welcome to the Avatar Robot Cafe, a place where people who have physical disabilities are able to work. In Japan, only 19% of working-age people with disabilities are employed. But here, those barriers are challenged.
Thank you for coming today.
Nanaka is 18 years old and has worked at the Robot Cafe for the past 3 months.
I work at this cafe where I can work remotely. The remote-controlled Orihime robot.
The Ori Laboratory created the advanced avatar robot named Orihime, where employees can operate it remotely from their homes or hospital rooms. There are currently over 60 employees who operate the robots and have disabilities ranging from ALS to multiple sclerosis. This couple from Finland visited the cafe to experience the robot interaction.
Okay, no offense. No, and I'm going to try to be as nice as possible here. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see somebody with cerebral palsy as a robot. Like, don't.
Well, we don't see them, right?
Yes, you do. There is a phone on his chest that is showing the individual in the hospital room while I'm trying to eat my taco.
That's a little too much.
It is?
Yes, I don't see it on the camera.
It's so hard to see.
Nice. It's a really interesting idea.
Halfway around the world in the University of Chicago, the Human-Robot Interaction Lab also hopes to develop social robots.
I think robots have incredible potential to assist people. For example, as robots become hopefully a little bit cheaper, more robust, more capable of communicating with people, we could see things like robot house assistants that could maybe allow an older adult to stay independent in their home for longer.
Their main research is to improve human-to-human interactions by promoting inclusion.
And so I think that there are definitely a lot of ways that robots could be utilized in order to better help people and maybe provide a price point that might be more affordable for people. And so I think that in order to do all of this, though, there are a lot of social interactions that will happen between people.
The Avatar Robot Cafe steps ahead into the future of dining with the ultimate blend of technology and inclusion. From Tokyo, Japan, this is Glenda Valdez.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, That's a happy story.
I just don't.
Next level step of that, just straight brain. Like they put a helmet on you or something, and you don't even need to use joysticks or buttons anymore to operate the robot. That would be even cooler.
Yeah,
I think it's just so cool.
I just don't.
I don't want to see him.
I don't.
No, I didn't know that was a feature. Like on the little one that was on the counter, it didn't have a viewfinder for what she looked like. The 18-year-old or whatever, it didn't have her. So I'm wondering if that's
Google search. I'm willing to pay extra to not see you.
Yes,
I'm fine with that.
Do I get like a piece of tape I could just put over your face while I talk to the robot? That
post it.
Yeah.
A little sticky note, something, just to shut that down in a big way.
Smiley face.
Yeah, that's
just
all.
A smiley face.
Jay, take a picture of me with the robot.
It's a cafe, right? So they can hang a tea towel over that thing if you pay extra.
Sure. Maybe a
and they
sock.
No.
The only thing I'm thinking of is, okay, from a cafe's point of view, like you are the owner. What's your initial investment to make this work, and how long have you had?
You probably have a good chunk of government funding, right? Because government, you're now taking them off of disability, and now you're hiring them. So we're going to give you what we would pay them a year for investment for your robot. 1, 2.
That's smart.
Absolutely, it's a beautiful write-off.
And robotic companies.
And even then, it's going to be a lot more, right?
And then when she's done working, she dies of whatever the syndrome. I'll just give you a new phone, and now you control it. It's reusable.
Well, the phone is probably still working. Just give it to the next one. Phone. But did 16 people? That's a lot of money. But I'm going to assume 16 robots
60.
is going to be a lot more expensive. 60 people, 60 different robots setting those up, different cafes. That's got to be a lot more than what those people cost a year.
Yeah, but that's not them paying for it. That's the government. It's the government that's investing.
Yeah, but I'm saying still as an owner, you have to chip in. It's going to be a lot. You're not going to be... It's not... The government funding you're getting is nowhere near enough your need for the initial setup cost.
They're going to be sponsored as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, plus they give an environment to test robots in.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to make an
free.
AI one that does coffee, why don't you just pop them in this cafe and see how it does? Like,
yeah, but that's the next question. What are they actually doing? Because if I can fully automate it, why do I need someone to operate it? Why do I need someone going with the knobs? I could just have it fully automated, bring someone in the drinks. And
you really don't need, honestly, but...
Yeah, you don't. It's just there to give them jobs.
It's there so the government can say that they've done their part in helping people that are disabled.
Yep.
We care.
Yes. Here's a robot. Program it. Okay. All right. Well, good stream, guys. Good stream. Sorry for anybody that is in here that was not able to type. The realist is set 2 members only. I do apologize for that. Well, I don't apologize. It's just the way that it is. I don't need people coming in here talking about UFOs when we're talking about AI. So that being said, thank you all. We will see you guys next week. Same time, same rhyme. Stay beautiful.